All right, Fresh, let's go to the Tar Heel state right now. Mario Cristobal, oh lordy, you and your play calling and your brilliant mind of how to win a football game, suffering your first loss. The Miami Hurricanes are traveling to Chapel Hill. This is a 7:30 kickoff against the North Carolina Tar Heels. They're 5-0 on the season. North Carolina is looking pretty impressive right now. But interesting enough, North Carolina is only a 3.5-point home favorite in this game. Over under is set at 57 right now. Fresh, I think the Hurricanes are going to be able to rebound. They've kind of been the laughing stock, so they got something to play for. But this UNC team, really good football program over there in Chapel Hill. What you got going on for this one?
Knee the ball. Take the snap, take a knee. There's no reason to run plays. Mario, you getting paid all the money. Come on, dude. You 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 made that poor running back wear the fumble because you're horrible decision making. That is unacceptable. Um, we were all sitting at dinner and we saw that loss happen. None of us could actually believe it happened. But I digress. Um, the biggest of all these two teams playing, Florida State's watching this game more probably closely than anyone else in the country. They want North Carolina, and they need North Carolina to remain undefeated. Because if they have to play for an ACC title, beating an undefeated North Carolina team would be a major boost to a resume. And actually, it could even potentially get both. We're talking about playoff outliers. Both these teams could then be playoff outliers. If
Very
Miami
true.
wins, that gives UNC a loss. Miami has two. It starts making the ACC a little more murky and taking away some of those quality potential wins for Florida State down the stretch. So it's a weird spot. But Florida State, I think, if Miami loses, they're no longer ranked. They'll have any shouting distance, any kind of top 25 ranking, but it does leave North Carolina undefeated team in the picture for later on in the season. So I think Florida State's truly watching that and remaining focused. Um, I think Miami comes out a little more galvanized situation after what happened in that ballgame because they had Georgia Tech beat. Not to mention they fumbled, but giving up the touchdown, the deep pass, where I don't know why you haven't even back there playing. It was a complete coaching malpractice and for like a fireable offense. It's absolutely horrible. They're going to probably get the team. We're going to see what kind of locker room they have. If they all show up and they play galvanized, they play together, and they fight for 60 minutes, that means Mario Cristobal has the pulse of that football team. If not, you're going to see the entire program crumble. You're going to see guys get individualized. You're seeing little, clicks to form in a locker room, offense versus defense situations, players versus coaches, and you don't want to have any of that working through the locker room, walking through the practice facility, the training table. This is a culture. This is a program, you know, checkpoint moment for Mario Cristobal. And if they can actually survive and move forward, and if he's actually the right guy and the right man in charge of that team, because if not, and this team basically has a mutiny on its hands because of the coaching put him in a position to fail, you could see this entire thing just flatline, and it'd be horrible. And Miami again will not be back. North Carolina, you have to just maintain focus. Drake May, that entire team, your defense is much improved. Stay focused, stay moving forward. Do not try to get caught up in the whirlwinds or the what ifs or we're a playoff potential team or whatnot. Just one game at a time because you have built something pretty special right now. Drake May has been putting up substantial numbers across the board. If you keep chugging along, every game gets bigger, but every game gets more important, and you could really be playing for something really special at the end of the year. Do not get caught up in the ointment. Do not let this environment of, oh, it's Miami, because that's exactly what happened when Miami thought about playing Georgia Tech. Oh, it's just Georgia Tech. Take advantage of the situation, one game at a time, one drive at a time. Put them away. Do not give the Hurricanes any hope because eventually they might start playing in the second half. You've got to take it early and strike them down. Take that will of the Hurricanes to play away. Because if they find some sort of spark late in that football game, they might actually come together and they take you out and upset you, and your season is almost a wash. So this is a big moment for North Carolina. Stay focused, stay driven, go get it done. I think Drake May has a big ball game. I think he goes off in the spotlight, and Carolina rolls big time.
Ooh, Fresh. A lot of big words there. I heard galvanized. What other one did you
I'm
have in there?
trying to sound educated on this episode.
You're doing a good job there. All that word of the day toilet paper is really paying off there.
It
So
is.
looking at these ones, it's interesting that how close Drake May and Tyler Van Dyke really are as quarterbacks. They're both having a really great year. I would love to see, you know, we talked. It's so hard to say this because at the beginning of the year we talked about Drake May wanting to take off a little less of the burden on him on the offense. Last season we saw Drake May be that do everything type of quarterback, and Amarion Hampton has come out and he's been absolutely fantastic, averaging over 5 yards a carry. Kid's got 7 touchdowns on the year, 460 yards rushing. All right, he has really taken the rushing attack away from Drake May, because last year is really, Drake May drops the pass, then Drake May runs the football. It's been interesting, but you touched on it for real quick. There is the improvement on the defensive side of the football for the Tar Heels. Very impressive on them. Last year, this defense was not that great. They kind of were, a leaky dam, and they've patched up every single crack in that dam, and it's been so nice to see them. On the other side of it, Miami, while yes, everyone's going to take that Georgia Tech loss and go, that's really a boneheaded bad coaching loss right there. But prior to this, Miami have been very impressive as well. They had the big win over Texas A&M, although, depending on what you're talking about, is that win as big as it was? But it was, at the time, is a dominating win. They were impressive in that game. And like I said, Tyler Van Dyke has been absolutely fantastic this season. I would like to see a little bit more from this defense here. I would like to see that hurricane-style defense come back a little bit stronger in this game. And I'm really going to ask this question, Fresh. You take a look at how Miami's run defense has been. It's been one of the best run defenses in the country. They're allowing less than 60 yards a game on the ground. Is Omarion able to get going in this game? Or is the game going to be put onto Drake May's shoulders? Now, I don't necessarily know if that's a bad thing. If Amarion Hampton can't get going in this game and you do have to put on Drake May, the kid's more than capable of doing it. He shows he's got the talent. He's going to be a very good NFL quarterback someday. I like this kid a lot. He's done such a great job when there's a lot of question marks with North Carolina coming into the season. Where were they really going to be at? But it's been a nice improvement for them. And they have, you take a look, we've talked about like outliers coming in right now. You take a look, and after Miami, Virginia, Georgia Tech, Campbell, and then you got the two big matchups. You got the Tobacco Road rivalry against Duke, and then you got to go down to South Carolina. That could be a big game. That South Carolina game, or I'm sorry, that Clemson game in South Carolina on November 18th could be a huge game, could be for the opportunity to face Florida State in the ACC title game. In this one, Fresh, give me UNC and the points, 3.5. I don't think that this will be that close. I think Miami gets their second loss of the season, but I will say this, the over-under is set at 57. I got a feeling the over's coming in on that. I just, for some reason, feel the over's going to hit over 57.
I could see even if Carolina's putting up 37 or 40 of it, it definitely isn't play. I mean, we're not talking North Carolina's defense is going to shut them out. And
No.
Van Dyke and that offense will score a little bit. I think they'll play with a little energy early on, maybe try to have some of that Miami swagger sort of whisper. But you got to snuff it out early, Carolina. If you do like Miami hanging around, they might actually find some confidence. So take care of it early in the first half. And if anyone's out there betting, bet Carolina heavy first half to just take care of business right off the bat and put this game on ice going out.
Right.